So Saintontas just came out with this video basically complaining about 2.1 patches. ZZZ dev gave up. What happened to ZZZ? The announcement of 2.1 has to be one of the most well-received patch ever since the Zenless Zone Zero is released. If they actually gave up, they wouldn't came out with so many minigames. Expanded map. The minigame is also very well made. There are two of them, like one is this Yusuha Bazooka and the Surfing Owless. I think minigame is probably one of the strongest selling point of the Zenless Zone Zero because all of their minigame are not like half-asses like any other gacha game. They designed the game to have a well-made polished minigame to be part of the Zenless Zone Zero, and we did experience a lot of that already, like the Fall Guys ripoff but with the bamboo, the mecha fight recently, and at this point you kind of need a miracle to actually impress Saintontas. The guy could find anything to niche pick, and boy, I would wish that game dev would give up every single patch, so game dev would have came out with so many content with high qualities. But in reality, Zenless Zone Zero tried to catch up with the summer vacation for the student in China. There will be bunch of kids swarm into the game, so they gotta do their best. Instead of hooking the kid with Charlie Chocolate Factory, they hook it with Yusuha Candy Factory. And of course, the summer outfit to mess up their puberty. The game is PG-13 by the way. The other video that I would like to talk about is this one, the HP inflation. Yes, he has been clowning himself with the word HP inflation over and over. Dude just never learned. For those who doesn't know what happened, he basically used Miyabi on ice-resistant enemy.
I mean, you're running her on ice-resistant bosses? Yeah, that's true. But she has always been getting, like, sub 2-minute times against ice-resistant bosses.
I mean, like she does, but not the way you set up your team. You could have just used the Hugo team on the second half, but you chose not to because you are so busy figuring out the next mumbo jumbo to say the game is bad, losing yourself in your own sources, and you don't even ask for opinion in your chat for the team comp because you are wishing so hard that the game is bad, so you don't even consider any possibility that would improve your gameplay, and you decide to put Hugo on the first half with the ice resistant. You could have just set up your team this way and your time would be so much better, and you don't even swap out your bamboo. This is intentionally reluctant to hold yourself back so that you could use your suboptimal gameplay as an argument that the Shiyu defense is bad. It is kind of bad, but not to the extent that you portray it. People were crowning on him, using Miyabi on the ice resistant enemy, and I myself also prepared jokes to make fun of that, but in this time, he is actually right. Out of hundreds of bad take, he's shotgunning into the void. This one actually landed. So this is the result of my Shiyu 7 first half. The test doesn't involve with any signature. My Jando got 135, Miyabi got 137, which is very close, and Piper got 142, which is extremely busted for a A rank. So Miyabi is actually one of the top pick in this case, and I don't own Evelyn, so I watched other people's video, and he got 139. And I also look into Resi's gameplay with Billy, Caesar, and Jufufu team. He got 2-minute clear. So it does seem like if you don't have really good support like Jufufu or Astra, DPS like Evelyn, Bernice, or even Miyabi, you're gonna have a pretty hard time on clearing the first half. I actually got almost 5 minutes the first time I tried it with the meme team. The first half actually feels like HP sponge, I'm not gonna lie. Even though it's hard, but it is still manageable in my opinion. The whole experience does feel daunting to some extent. And the reason why Miyabi is doing decently well is really because of 30% ice resistant that mitigate her damage loss from the resistant. And I also take a look into the Saintontas gameplay because I'm doing a lot of combo breaks down. Naturally, I could recognize his gameplay, and I gotta say that he definitely got decent skill from the Wuwa. He does use skill when he has energy and use ultimate when it's available. And of course, I could point out his mistake every 5 seconds if he were try to speedrun the game, but he definitely got everything to clear an S rank or 9-star daily assault, even though he doesn't have much awareness with the daze and the stun, and maybe he forget to use the panda to buff his Yi Xuan, and not swapping enough when he's using Astra, because that's how you proc the Astral Voice. But overall, I don't really see any huge issue other than not understanding the enemy's mechanics, and he could have just asked that in the stream, because there will be people who understand the game better than him. Even though as an end result, him using Miyabi on the ice resistant characters turned out to be correct, but you could argue that he's playing the team suboptimally just to prove his point on HP inflation. I think this is one of those cases like the boy who cried wolf, except that the boy is telling the truth on the last time, but Saintontas lie, but it turns out to be right. And I think I could assume that because he doesn't do any further tests. He could have tested with Piper, he doesn't have Jane though, but he could have tested with the DPS lighter too. Those are the legitimate possibility that he could have tried to prove the point. But do you know why he didn't do it? Because he's afraid that he's gonna be wrong. And that's why people jump on him before they test it out themselves. Because he made his conclusion out of one team that he tried on CU7. It was poorly delivered without the test. And it's also a big L for Saintontas. It's such a missed opportunity for him to not elaborate the test to prove his point that ZZZ has the HP inflation problem. Because I think it's a pretty strong point to back him up. And for the other videos that actually jump on him, I don't want to name the name because I have zero reason to call out you guys, but you guys know who you are, and probably a lot of viewers know who you are. But I think you guys should really play Shiyu defense before making videos about how dumb is Saintontas is using Miyabi on the ice resistant enemy. I mean, like, it does sound dumb, but he's definitely not wrong, even though it could be a coincidence. And I think it's probably a good opportunity to talk about how my channels work. I try to be as genuine as possible. I also want to be fair to pretty much everyone. Even he or she is not the person that I particularly like. And yeah, I do think that Shiyu defense in this time is definitely not good, but still somewhat manageable. But like I said on my last video, endgame content is probably not the reason why you play this game. I'm also sick and tired of the narration that if your endgame content is doomed, then your game is doomed, but it's not. It has to do with pretty much everything else. The exploration, the vibe, the story, even the minigame, and of course the character design. I know that a lot of you guys probably not gonna like this video cause I don't go as hard on him as I do on my other video, but I do wanna prioritize doing things right. Anyway, until next time Saintontas make some huge blunder, cause it's probably gonna happen pretty soon, and see ya guys.